The lifestyle of James Hetfield. James Hetfield is Metallica. He's the lead vocalist, rhythm guitarist, and primary songwriter for the biggest heavy metal band arguably in history. As part of Metallica, James has won 9 Grammy Awards and released 10 studio albums, 3 live albums, 4 extended plays, and 24 singles. In 2009, he was ranked at number 8 in Joel McIver's book, The 100 Greatest Metal Guitarists, and number 24 by Hit Parader on their list of 100 greatest vocalists of all time. In Guitar World's poll, James was placed as the 19th greatest guitarist of all time, as well as being placed second, along with Metallica lead guitarist Kirk Hammett in the 100 greatest metal guitarists poll. Rolling Stone placed him as the 87th greatest guitarist of all time. He's one of the biggest petrol heads out there and has a very interesting collection, which we'll lay out for you later on in this video. Let's get to know James Hetfield, the man and musician, a little better. Remember to give this video a like and subscribe to Fame and Fortune for more videos on your favorite celebrities. James Hetfield was born on the 3rd of August 1963 in Downey, California. He most probably inherited his music abilities from his mother, who was a light opera singer. His father was a truck driver, and in this case, when the two fields collided, we were given an incredible, talented heavy metal musician. James grew up with his 2 older half-brothers from his mother's first marriage and 1 younger sister. When he was 13, his parents got divorced, and his mother sadly died of cancer when he was only 16. While we know James to be a guitarist, he also plays the piano and drums. He learned to play the piano when he was 9, then moved on to drums, and at the age of 14 discovered the guitar. This was also around the time he discovered Aerosmith, and he says the band was his main influence as a child, and the reason why he started to play the guitar. And obviously Metallica was not the first band he played with. As a teenager, James had a few bands, one being Leather Charm and another Obsession. Metallica came to be after James answered an advertisement by drummer Lars Ulrich in the Los Angeles newspaper The Recycler. The 1981 post read, "Drummer looking for other metal musicians to jam with Tigers of Pantang, Diamond Head, and Iron Maiden." Soon after, the two recruited James's friend and housemate Ron McGovney to play bass and Dave Mustaine to play lead guitar. They decided on the name Metallica after a suggestion from Bay Area metal scene friend Ron Quintana. The band has gone through several band member changes over the years, but James and Lars have always remained united. In the early days of the band, Metallica experimented with a few different vocals and guitar combinations, essentially creating a setup similar to that of British metal band Diamond Head. Some of the options considered included adding another guitar player, having John Rhodes play the lead guitar, as well as asking John Bush from Armored Saint to sing for the band. But the final lineup of the band became James, lead vocals and rhythm guitar, Lars Ulrich, drums, Dave Mustaine, lead guitar, and Ron McGovney, bass. But Ron was soon replaced by the incredible bass player Cliff Burton, who sadly passed away in tragic circumstances when the Metallica tour bus crashed in Sweden in 1986. And James has a tattoo dedicated to him on his arm. In 1983, the band recruited lead guitarist Kirk Hammett, and 10 days later, James and Lars officially fired Dave from the band due to his erratic indifference. Dave went on to form the heavy metal band Megadeth. After hitting the opener circuit in Los Angeles, where they supported the likes of Saxon, they recorded their first ever demo, No Life Till Leather, in 1982. The tape trading circuit went crazy for it, and after repeatedly well-received shows in the Bay Area, Metallica found themselves relocating there after convincing bassist Cliff Burton to leave his band Trauma and replace McGovney. East Coast metal merchant Zon Zazula pitched the band on an album deal with his indie label Megaforce Records, and in 1983, the band found themselves traveling to New York in a stolen U-Haul truck to record their first album. Since then, Metallica and frontman James have released 10 studio albums, 3 live albums, and 4 extended plays and 24 singles. Poor James has in the past been somewhat of an accident-prone guy, having been involved in quite a few onstage accidents. Most notably was the onstage incident in 1992 at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal during the Guns N' Roses / Metallica Stadium Tour, when a pyrotechnic charge reacted. While his guitar protected him from the full force of the blast, the reaction struck his left side, burning his head, arm, eyebrows, face, and hair. He suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns, but was on backstage 17 days later. And this is what we call a true rock star. Apart from onstage and skateboarding accidents, James has also suffered drug addiction and alcoholism for the most part of his career. While he is currently sober, the band had to cancel their 2019 tour to allow James to go to rehab. In 1997, James married Francesca Tomasi, and together they have 3 children. The pair met in 1992 when she worked as the costume designer for Metallica while they were on tour. James credits her with helping him through a lot of anger issues and drug and alcohol addictions. The pair currently lives in Vail, Colorado in an 11,509 square foot luxury home, which he bought for $23 million in 2017. So that leaves the question, what is James Hetfield's net worth if he can spend $23 million on a house? Well, despite not working for several months due to another recent rehab stay, James currently has an estimated net worth of $300 million. And the $23 million he spent on his home is small change compared to what he spends on cars, because James is one heck of a petro head. In February 2020, a collection of his cars, guitars, memorabilia, and photos went on show, and is now going up on auction at the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles. On show were his 9 most prized custom vintage cars. These 9 cars include a 1948 Jaguar Black Pearl, the 1938 Packard Aquarius, the 1953 Buick Skylark Skyscraper, and the 1937 Lincoln Zephyr Voodoo Priest. Every single one of these cars were designed and built from scratch by Rick Dorr. Now, James doesn't drive these beauties on a daily basis. Oh no. What he does drive on a daily basis will definitely come as a big surprise, so keep watching to find out. As can be plainly seen in the documentary Some Kind of Monster, James doesn't draw the line of love only at cars. It has been noted and reported that he really loves his choppers as well, though he did stop riding in 2015, saying he stopped because of his health, meaning he wants to stick around for his grandkids, of course. James's love for cars started when he was a little boy, and much like all motorheads, he marveled at the cars of his generation and the generation before, particularly the muscle cars and hot rods of the era. So ever since he could afford them, cars sort of became an escape from the harsh realities of life. But if you had to guess, what kind of car do you think James drives on a daily basis? It's not what you think, we promise. James' daily ride is a Tesla. Well, that and a Ford SVT Raptor, which the SVT Raptor sounds more like it if we're honest. James says, I live in Colorado and it's not the best state for rods. Makes sense, we guess, but really, James Hetfield drives a Tesla every day. So anyway, getting back on track, let's not forget that James is a musician, so his list of collectibles don't only include cars, he also has an amazing collection of instruments, such as a Flying V-like ESP Vulture guitar valued at $2,000. The more recent addition to his instrument collection is a ESP/LTD Snakebite. He now uses it as his main guitar while performing. It has his very own signature and an array of features that just add to its sound quality. James also owns a Gibson Chet Atkins classical guitar. The black version of the $4,500 acoustic guitar is said to be one of the most beautiful in his collection. While you can't imagine him strumming away on his acoustic guitar as much as the electric guitar, you can find him using it in the song On the Unforgiven on the live Binge and Purge DVD. Some versions of this guitar aren't even being made or sold anymore. James Hetfield's lifestyle doesn't make him keep all his money to himself though. He regularly gets involved with various charities, and in 2020, he donated a few end tables that he himself made during lockdown to be won by a charity raffle. In fact, James and the rest of the band has its own charity called Within My Hands. Proceeds of the raffle sale will benefit another of the band's charities called Metallica Scholars, which is a major workforce education initiative that provides direct support to community colleges to enhance their career and technical education programs. These programs provide skills and services to students who are looking to enter a traditional trade or other applied learning programs. Metallica Scholars currently funds grants to 15 community colleges across the US, many of which provide welding classes and assistance with job placements in the trade. It's honestly not quite what you'd expect from the frontman of a metal band, right? James loves cars, he loves his family, and he loves to give back, but most of all, he loves music. As is evident in this quote, I have the best job in the world. I'm able to express myself, and people attach themselves to it if they identify with it. Music certainly is a driving force in my life. There's not a moment where I'm not in it. Thanks for watching. Head on over to the comments section and let us know what you thought of this video, what your favorite Metallica song is, or leave us a few suggestions of who you'd like us to cover next.